It occurred to me while I was waiting for the time for the stream to start that the title might be better done as checking up on Kent the Dent Hovind or what have you. And catching up with almost sounds like he's going to be here. And that is most certainly not the case. But I thought, Sunday, go on and finish off with the obligatory look at Hovind's Sunday video. As a reminder, this entire week, let me get everything queued up here. There we go. This entire week, he's apparently been having this Blood Bought Baptist Camp event at DAL. So you got 5 days of multi-hour long videos that I'm just not going to bother with. I watched a little bit of this one, the first one. It was a minute of Kent, introducing stuff, saying the same stuff he always does. Now, Dinosaur Adventureland in lovely Lenox, Alabama. And then it went on to one of the preachers like singing and playing guitar and just your typical church music crap. And I do not care in the least. It's all stupid. It's creepy, especially with a name like that. So whatever. So we're going to hit Psalm 104 Part 3. Part 2, I think, was the one video AJ was looking at the other day. I'm not sure. He talks about the cosmology in one of these, and it's something I actually need to go back and look at. But we're going to hit his video from today, Psalm 104 Part 3. He actually spends a lot of it talking with the pastor of some other church. So I don't know if we're going to go through the whole thing, if there's going to be any meat on the bones there, or if this is going to be kind of a quick one. But let's see what he has to say, because it's at least been an eventful week down at Dinosaur Adventureland.
Well, good morning, folks. Ken Hovind here and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland and Genesis Baptist Church. It is May the 4th, 2025. We made it. Was that an exciting week last week with all them groups here? 4 different churches came from, South Carolina, Texas, Montana. Was there one? Yeah. Anyway, people come from all over.
Montana, and you go to Dinosaur Adventureland. Good Lord. Just...
blast here. Come on down. We are going to be in Psalm chapter 104.
Sorry, the audio was down by default because Rumble always puts the volume at like 20%, which is just weird.
We're on a bunch of different channels on Facebook. Is that right? 110,000 subscribers, or about to be 114,000. Please sign up for Facebook. Okay, we're on. Let's see, Rumble and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Plus our app. You can get the app. $6,000 a year. If you want to help pay for that, please do. Some folks are donating. Thank you so much. Help support us for that. We don't charge anything. We want to help get the gospel out. If you want to help us, great. If not, get out of the way. All right. So you can like us, share it, subscribe, make a comment.
Hey, the subscribe button. Good to see you, buddy. And upon seeing the subscribe button, I just noticed the dino lamp is completely hidden. You can see like a pixel of it over here if you look really closely. In fact, honestly, let me count them pixels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10-ish on my, standard 1080p monitor. We got 10 pixels of dino lamp. They're trying to erase it from history. The bastards.
Subscribe to our channel, and you might know somebody that needs this message today. This, I think, will really help them. Share it with them. Okay? We're open for free. Help us stay that way. Join our 777 Club. drdino.com. We want to become a member. I don't check on it. I don't know who's in it. I don't want to know. I just want.
The more he stresses that, the more it makes me think he scrutinizes the list every single day.
I'm going to keep plowing ahead with the gospel. Okay. So there's our website, Dr. Dino. On over 9 years now, we've been open here in Lenox, Alabama for free. Get our video series, What on Earth is About to Happen? No, I'm sorry. Our creation seminar series, 18 hours, $50. And get a series on what on earth is about to happen.
Or you can watch my video series for free.
Here we are.
I mean, you can watch Hovind's as well, but
May the 4th, Psalm chapter 104. We're going to cover 6 verses. I figured up there's 31,102 verses in the Bible. If we do 6 verses a day, it's going to take 5,184 days to cover the Bible. Take us 14 years. So we're going to cover only 6 today. Psalm 104 is loaded. It's a gold mine with stuff. We're going to try to hurry through some other ones later. Okay. Be sure to join us July 6th up in Kentucky at Ken Ham's Noah's Ark. We're going up there to the atheists having their rally there. We thought we'd like some common sense in addition to the stupidity that they teach, that we came from Iraq and you're related to a potato. We can try to get some common sense in there. Let's see. Come visit our ministry. Take the real tour. We're straight north of Pensacola, 70 miles, 65 miles roughly. By the way, I got a race down there after church. So you folks for a tour. I got to meet my son for lunch. So,
Whoa, big if true. Oh, Pixar, it didn't happen, Kent. Part of me wants to say, honestly, it'd be nice if they're reconciling, but that's me treating them like normal human beings. And I have to remember this is Kent Hovind we're talking about. Eric Hovind sucks too, but less than his father.
so it's a rare event. So we're going to pray about that. We're going to go down. So I won't be here for time. I'll come back probably by Friday, and you can take the tour if you're still here. Okay. We think evolution is stupid. Okay, Pastor Manley had his group called the Blood Bought Baptist Camp Meeting. That was pretty cool. It lasted for 3 days.
Did y'all see that?
Take the tour if you're still here. Okay, we think evolution is stupid. Okay, Pastor.
Blood Ball. Carl Ball, meet Blood Ball. He's your blood relative. Oh, I can't even give him crap. If you're in my Discord, you see how horrible I type sometimes. And the joys of my dictation from my phone. Use that way too often. It just gets crappier and crappier with every iOS release.
Pastor Manley had his group called the Blood Bought Baptist Camp Meeting. That was pretty cool. That lasted for 3 days. The Blood Bought Baptist Church Camp. That was awesome. Okay. Had a bunch of people coming from all over the place. You could come, bring your group. Had some singing here, finally some good singing instead of mine. And it was a blast. There's our church building inside if you want to come down visit. You guys played the guitar.
I'm legitimately amazed that he didn't actually go on and do normal videos in conjunction and have everyone stay there. That is an incredible thing in Hovind history. That he actually let others, literally and figuratively, take the stage.
But we've provided everything: housing, food, utilities, 17.
But he still got a humble brag about it.
Lakes. Hey, Joe, did you see that tree in the Olympic National Park? Giant Sitka spruce tree hanging in midair. That shows that, look, you might not have too much to hang on to. Hang on anyway, okay? He's just hanging in there. And our duck.
Oh, trust me, Kent. That's all I've been doing for the past few years. And I'm being very serious about that. I've been holding on to anything I've got. So don't worry, Kent. I know.
Duck had babies and they were ducks. Who thought? Wow.
They had babies and they were bucks? No way. Were they buck 110s? Or were they 112 Rangers? Or were they the 119 special? Sorry, I work in a place that sells knives. And that's the coolest aisle in the store. And I like buck knives. It's funny, if you do Google Street View near the factory in Ohio, the headquarters where they're manufactured, and then you turn around, there's a house with a big-ass Trump flag flying on it. It's like, way to go. You know you're in the middle of bumfuck Idaho. Who knows? The guy might work there. The guy might have touched the very knife I made. I used. I don't know. But, yeah, it's just kind of funny. But the knives are really good. So if you're in, not sponsored, I just really like the knives. If you want a good knife, buck. I mean, I think the buck 110 is the greatest knife ever made myself. But we could do something different. Sometime I could do a knife stream. Let's focus on Hovind.
Ah, I know you evolutionists like to imagine that the duck is related to the elephant. I know, I have a vivid imagination, but that's not science. Okay, come on down, visit Dinosaur Adventureland. Bring your group, Boy Scout groups, youth group, sports group, team, whatever. Awana, bird watchers, we don't care. Okay, let me go to slide number home 1640, and we'll get started here. Psalm 104. He sendeth the springs into the valleys which run among the hills. They, what would that be talking about? The springs.
Or is that the they that threw you in prison for 9 years, Kent? And what the hell are the springs? I guess I missed a section since I didn't watch video 2. I'm not even sure if I watched Psalm 104 part 1. I don't know and I don't care.
Give drink to every beast of the field. The wild asses quench their thirst. By them shall the fowls of the heaven.
Laura, I most certainly do not work in the Bass Pro Pyramid. If I did, I would talk about being downtown more often than the one time I have been in like the past 8 years.
Have their habitation. The importance of springs. Springs are really important. It's amazing. There are lots of towns in America named after springs. Just in Alabama, let's see, there are 652 springs in this state. And many people build a city there and call it after that, Spring Hill or something like that.
I think they start with a basic settlement and then it matures into an outpost, a village, a town. Might consolidate into a city at some point. I mean, there's a stage to it. There's an evolution to urban development, Hovind. You would know that if you paid for your permits.
Okay. In Conecuh County, there's one in Castleberry. It's right down the road here. You get off the exit, off the interstate, it'll say Castleberry this way, Lenox this way. The 100 most popular springs in Alabama. When the water soaks into the ground, several things can happen. Sometimes it can go downhill underground, down and spring up someplace else.
Yeah, that's a phenomenon of the Wolf River in Memphis. As you head east in Shelby County, it eventually, now this is going backwards from the flow because it's flowing west into the Mississippi. But if you were to come from where I am following the river, generally eastward, there's a point where it eventually effectively dives underground, and it's known as the Ghost River. There's actually a local brewery by that name. Makes a real nice beer. Sourced from the Wolf River, water filtered and stuff. So I mean, it's Memphis stuff. Pretty cool. I wish I still drank so I could enjoy some maybe during a Hovind stream, but it mixes with my medication, so I don't want to cause any issues. I'm very good about taking my medication appropriately. My doctor loves it. But point is, yeah, I'm familiar with that process. It's pretty cool when that happens. Just wanted to do a little brag about my local geography, geology, tangential to geography, but the geology. I don't like Memphis, but I like Memphis, if that makes sense. Y'all know how it is.
In a spring, a natural spring. Sometimes it's a gravel seam like we have all over our Dinosaur Adventureland, and its water soaks in one place, oozes out someplace else, 500 miles away. The spring. There's some beautiful springs in the world, high mineral content. There's Hot Springs, Arkansas. There's Colorado Springs. I used to go there all the time. Yellowstone is famous for its springs.
Yeah, and all those crazy colors, different types of bacteria. It's pretty freaking wild. I swear every time I stream, a soda bottle just goes pop. I was gonna say, the springs, you fall in there, you ain't coming out. You will be dissolved. Those things are evil, beautiful, but pure evil.
Cities named Spring. Springdale, Springfield, Spring Valley, Palm
Springfield, it's a hell of a town. The schoolyard's up and the shopping mall's down. The stray dogs go to the animal pound.
Springs, Hot Desert Springs, Diamond Springs. Springs are very important. Here the Bible talks about the springs. Almost all the rivers have at least a contributor somewhere along the way that's a spring.
And look at all of that watershed that goes right into the Mississippi. Yep. It's pretty cool.
Sometimes
that guy this morning gave me shit over talking smack about. I was talking smack about America because like the Bible Belt down here, you can't buy alcohol on Sundays for the most part, or it depends on local municipalities and the like. But it's a common thing here. And he was getting super pissed about it right as my stream ended. So it's like, whatever. And then here I am being like, look, properties of America. Although, again, these are all geographic properties and would exist, or geologic properties, and would exist regardless of what you actually called the land. Because the land don't matter what you call it. The river's going to do what rivers do, and the desert's going to do what deserts do. And, the valley in California is going to be the best place to live, except for the housing costs.
Many of them springs out of the ground, flows down to the ocean. Isn't that a cool graphic somebody did? That one in the middle, that's the Mississippi Ohio River drainage pattern. All this formed after the flood. We covered that video number 6. Anyway, he watereth the hills from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of thy works. He causes the grass to grow for the cattle and herb for the service of man. The herb means.
Yeah, let's focus on that again, because I just want to make sure I do hear that correctly.
Satisfied with the fruit of thy works. He causes the grass to grow.
Also, you can tell Kent's been talking a lot this weekend. I mean, honestly, good for him for having an event that went over well. It's just, you're still Kent Hovind. That's still Dinosaur Adventureland, and y'all are still nuts. But you can tell he's been talking all week. His voice is shot.
For the cattle and herb for the.
Ooh, herb. He says it like I do. I've had people. I tend to drop H's at the beginning of things. Like human, I don't really pronounce the H at all. It's almost more like it starts with a Y, human instead of human. And a person I worked with way back noticed that and messed with me about it. And I've never really noticed how common it is or isn't to drop the H or to say the H, but I think it's a little more common to at least somewhat pronounce it. So it's interesting that Kent and I share that trait where we did not say the H at all for herb. Now I have to try to add it in there because I'm aware of it. How many herbs do you think go in there? That kind of thing.
Service of man.
Oh, no, maybe that's common for you as well. I don't know. It's one of those things I don't ever think about until I have reason to think about it. Something triggers it.
Herb means vegetables. God makes the vegetables.
Oh my God, Kent, we know what a fucking herb is.
For the service of man. That's an interesting word. The food that you eat will service your body. How many have ever seen an automobile service center where you got?
Remember when you had a wife who would serve? Never mind, I'm not going to make the joke. Too late, I already basically made it.
Got to take your car in and get it serviced, okay? Your car needs service. There are some things your car uses, like air in the tires, transmission fluid, differential fluid. It uses them, but it doesn't use them up. Other things your car uses up, like gas and air for the engine. And you got to keep adding more if you want.
Air for the... Kent, does your engine run on compressed oxygen bottles? You not have air intake? A carburetor? Is it some kind of rocket car? Are you using oxidizer and a propellant? Dimethylhydrazine and nitrogen tetroxide? I mean, that'd be fucking awesome. But that exhaust is going to be pretty damn toxic. Certainly not street legal. Shit, now I want a car powered by Titan II rocket fuel. That would actually suck. But, just thinking out loud. I don't feel well, so I'm thinking of anything that'll make me feel better. Like the Titan missile program.
Want to keep running. Some things it uses, but it doesn't use them up, but you still got to replace them once in a while, like the engine oil, the air filter, and the transmission fluid, etc.
Yeah, they wear out.
God designed your body. He designed the herbs to service your body. That's what he said in Psalm 104. He made herbs for the service of man. Some things your body uses up. They need to.
I hate to go with what some consider a hurtful stereotype, but I am legitimately surprised that you actually cannot buy alcohol on Good Friday and Christmas Day in Ireland. Although the more I think about it, that doesn't totally surprise me, given the rich Catholic heritage there. So I guess they found a line and decided those 2 days would be the line. So I guess it's understandable the more I think about it.
To be replenished. Other things you don't use up, but you use them. Okay? If you asked, how much vitamin C do I need every day? There's no simple answer. It depends on what you do with your body. If you weigh 400 pounds, you're pregnant or lactating, you have genetic issues, you smoke, you have certain diseases, you have infections that have any of the non-communicable diseases, you're going to need more vitamin C. How much gas does my car need? Diseases?
Wait, hang on. Okay, so grammatically, if you weigh 400 pounds, are pregnant or lactating, have genetic issues, smoke, have certain diseases, you'll need more. So Kent Hovind is imagining a person who weighs 400 pounds is either pregnant or lactating, so either has had a kid, will have a kid, or happens to just be some kind of leaker, has genetic issues, just generic genetic issues, smoke, have certain diseases, infections, which would qualify as diseases, any of the various non-communicable diseases, cardiovascular diseases, and cancer. So have certain diseases. So is Kent saying if you're obese, have just done baby stuff? So this is strictly women, mind you, save for the rare male lactation case, which isn't what's being talked about here. Have genetic predisposition, a bunch of diseases, and also smoke on top of it. You'll need more vitamin C. Wow. I know I'm one. If you read my website, my blogs on satire.com, you'll see there's a little bit of, just going with the flow, stream of thought, repetition, and just little flaws here and there, and some things that could be refined but never were when I wrote the article. But my God, Kent, you really could have worked this better. I've got a nitpick because, again, you claim to have taught every single course ever over a 15-year period.
You have infections that have any of the non-communicable diseases, you're going to need more vitamin C. How much gas does my car need? There's no simple answer.
And yeah, sorry, Deviant, I meant to point out what you had said earlier. For all that Kent is, he's at least a grand study in cult behavior. He really is. And when you're there in the moment, it doesn't seem like it to the average person, but especially in retrospect, one would easily see it. But Deviant had said earlier, note, all of this is manipulation tactics on Kent's side. It's aimed to hypnotize the audience, referring to his standard technique of providing a bunch of information, making it seem like he knows what he's talking about. Ironically, what he complains that scientists and such do with the big words is actually what he does with all these slides, all these presentation elements. Yeah.
To that, what do you do with it? If you're drag racing with it, you're going to need 70 gallons to go 1 mile. Not miles per gallon, gallons per mile. I can't tell you.
Yeah, and that gets you Republicans hard, doesn't it?
How much gas your car needs. Tell me what you're doing with it, okay? You pull in a semi-truck.
It's not even so much what you're doing with it. It's a matter of the engine efficiency followed by what you're actually trying to do with the entire assembly's efficiency. You're talking to a guy who has been using ChatGPT to crunch numbers for literally a month and a half now on various science fiction propulsion systems, trying to keep them as realistic as possible, yet simultaneously have them bend reality in enough to where they're that kind of, it almost seems magic, but it's still just advanced physics kind of sci-fi. Hard-rooted, but still wildly perfect, if somehow still flawed.
You're going to need more. What minerals does the body need? Human body contains at least detectable traces of 60 chemical elements, some of which are minerals. 29 of these elements are thought to play an active role in life and health in humans.
Oh yeah, certainly. In all cases, there's going to be places that don't care about the laws, do it under the table, or people that aren't proper businesses but just happen to provide that service. Free market economy, baby. Hell yeah. Gray market. It's funny. No matter what economic system, gray markets always seem to appear. Capitalist system, gray markets. Complete socialist systems, outright communism. Planned economies, controlled economies like North Korea, gray markets. They're necessary. Just happens.
These minerals are essential for lots of things your body needs. See, the tree, God made all the plants, the herbs, to put roots into the ground, and some of them draw out some minerals from the ground, some draw out others. Some plants are known for their high magnesium content. So if you're low in magnesium, if you're getting cramps, muscle cramps any place, you're probably low in magnesium. Cramp, usually the bottom of your foot or the calf muscles where they start. Take magnesium.
First one, then the other.
They go away. So you can get spinach. All these plants here are listed. The symptoms of magnesium can include tremor, poor coordination, muscle spasms, loss of appetite, personality change. I know some people that need a bunch of
Yeah, the broken vitamin C thing is just
magnesium. Let's see.
wow. Okay, it did. I was on the restream window when it did the I'm gonna start playing again thing. So that's a bug in Rumble's video player that causes that replay as soon as I pause it effect. Yeah, vitamin C and our lack of ability to produce it is fucking hilarious. Wonderful design there. We have the genes. They're there and they can't be activated. So where's Pop Tarts? Just Hovind's video from this morning. We're just a little behind. Nothing special. Nothing special at all. Yeah, Laura's got you right on the money. Just his thing from this morning. Since it's right after his big blood bath, Jesus Orgy 9000, event with all those other churches, I thought there might be something interesting in here because I was almost going to avoid it. But I'm like, no, let's at least see what happens.
Complications, seizures, cardiac arrest, low potassium.
Brock, buddy, what was the question? I might have missed it in there. Sometimes I have trouble actually noticing when I click something to show it, actually reading it before I'm back on the the stream or on the video we're watching. There's a lot going on at once, buddy.
Vehicle requires 8 essential fluids to function: gas, air, motor oil, coolant, transmission fluid, brake fluid. Some of them it uses and some it uses up. So your body's the same thing. A car is very complicated. If you don't get enough oil in that engine, you're going to have some problems eventually. Something's going to give out. If you don't get enough certain vitamins in your body.
Oh, you were talking about what does Dent mean? I just thought it'd be a funny pejorative, mild, childish pejorative for him, just a crude nickname, calling him Kent the Dent. I thought it'd be funny. And I'm just going to keep on going with it because some of the people liked it.
Body, something's going to go wrong. And see, if you took your car to a mechanic and it's making a funny noise, and he said, wow, that sounds bad. Here, put these headphones on and you won't hear it anymore. I think you ought to get a different mechanic. Okay.
This is true. That's why you go to an actual doctor for actual medical advice, a nutritionist for nutritional advice. You go to a dentist, fix your damn teeth. If you can afford it. Polly has his cracker. Didn't Kent get in trouble for trying to sell arsenic or something like that? Yeah, it was the apricot seeds and they called it some random vitamin supplement. I think his son was really big on selling it, but Kent did too. But yeah, the apricot seeds and the fact that they contain cyanide, and him being like a small amount's good for you, and it's like a small amount isn't going to harm you per se, like obligately, but it's not good for you. Does not work well in the body at all as a free chemical like it's present in apricot seeds.
Okay. Are you trying to get rid of the symptom or get rid of the cause? Most of the drugs that people take.
Oh, here we go. Kent, thinking all of medicine is in medical industry is designed to keep you keep you sick. Let me tell you, my grandmother was a nurse, a high tier one at Baptist downtown Memphis. Building was imploded in circa 05. She was a higher up there. Had a lot of books. I would read those books, try to read those books for fun on the details of this, that, and the other, various medications, various everything. Yeah. All that was in there was information on what each and every little thing is, what kinds of conditions that medication handles, and that was just in the books on various medications and the like, the stuff she kept up with to keep certificates valid. I was curious as a kid, so I'd look in the books. There wasn't anything in there about how to grift for the maximum amount of money. And I also want to add, Kent, that by some weird phenomena in this country that I never understood, just about all your hospitals seem to be associated with a Protestant denomination of some kind. You got your Methodist, as I said, your Baptist earlier. It's like, what's the deal with that? If the medical industry is in on it, wouldn't that mean the hospitals are in on it? And if they're somehow correlated with religious organizations? Wouldn't that mean that the religious organizations are in on it as well? How far down the rabbit hole does this go? Because I'm going to keep going till I'm stuck. Or Kent, maybe you're just completely full of it. This is my way of saying Kent is about to spout a bunch of medical misinformation. Do not listen to Kent Hovind. Do not take medical advice from him. For the love of all that is holy, do not do anything this man says in any circumstance when it comes to health. Straight up. Unless an actual fucking professional who you know and trust happens to say, oh yeah, that's fine. If Ken Hovind says eating vegetables is good for you, he's not wrong in that case. And you can check with a doctor to see. You know what I'm saying? You follow a basic process of checking with the experts. Hovind is not an expert on anything. He's not even a Bible expert. He's not an expert on jack diddly shit. He's barely an expert on himself. He's been running autopilot on life since he got arrested. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm just along for the ride, Hovind. So yeah, just got to put that massive disclaimer out there. I hope y'all have liked this eccentric moment. I then paused on this frame the entire time. I'm going to let him play, and I'm going to catch up on y'all's comments.
Hard to treat a symptom. Oh, I got a headache. Here, take an aspirin. Wait a minute. What's causing the headache? I don't know, but this will take it away. That's like putting headphones on so you don't hear the noise anymore.
Sometimes that's all it takes, and your body's own healing processes will work out. I tend to keep headaches, Kent. It's a combination of a somewhat crummy diet, fluorescent lights really bugging me, and hopefully a few other relatively minor but persistent through my life factors that haven't gotten worse. I take some ibuprofen for it. I'm usually okay. I try to deal with the pain. I've got a headache right now, and I try to just work through it. You know why? It's just life. But if I feel like, oh, I need the pain to be numbed for a bit, medicine will do the job. And if I feel a real emergency coming on, if I really think this is something big, I'll bite the bullet and go see a doctor, knowing good and well I'm going to be in fucking debt for 3 years paying it off. Maybe get an x-ray or something and just see what's actually going on. My right knee is really starting to give out on me. I'm reaching that point in life where it's, it hurts regularly. I would love to go have that looked at, but don't quite have the money. I know it's obviously, cartilage issue, tendon issue, something. I don't have the money. So the best I can do is maybe take some medicine for it. That's the best a lot of us can do. But you're acting like the only options that exist are to take something to placate yourself, and that's it. No, 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 no. Remember, when you got bit by that snake, they didn't just give you something to make you feel better and then let you drop dead. Oh, no, 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 Kent. They gave you the antivenom. What a waste that was. And I feel terrible for that snake having to, one, have interacted with you, and two, having to die so they can verify it and all that other crap that goes on. I don't know the details. But for you to say this is wild, and hey, the cats are getting into a fight. Wonderful.
Anymore. You want to get to the cause of it. Human body has 13 essential vitamins to function properly, 341 nutrient deficiency diseases. There's all kinds of things happen to your body because you're low on certain vitamins or minerals. God said he made the herb for the service of man. There are macro.
Yes, but you guys want to ban certain herbs, if you know what I mean.
Minerals, and you need a lot of them, and micro minerals or trace minerals. You don't need much of those. God formed man out of the dust. Thou shalt eat the herb of the field. Out of it thou wast taken, and the dust thou art, and to dust shalt thou return. We all go to one place. We're all made from dust. All the flesh perish together, and man shall return again to.
Yeah, we're all butt dust. We know that.
To the dust. Dead men live, together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in the dust. Then shall the dust return to the earth, and the spirit shall return to God. See, God made the plants to absorb minerals because your body needs them. He said in Psalm 104, 3,000 years before modern science here, He made herb for the service of man. The fact that minerals can absorb these, plants can absorb these minerals by their roots is stunning. It's amazing. Some plants absorb certain minerals from the ground.
It's kind of just a property of these things being water soluble and the vascular nature of plants allowing the minerals to be pulled up. Just kind of happens.
Others absorb different minerals. That's why you got to eat a variety of plants to keep a diet going. The way plants absorb minerals, you can study that forever in biology class. Foods high in magnesium. See, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, almonds, spinach. Some foods are high in vitamin C.
That reminds me, it's spring. I've got a Homer Simpson chia pet that I need to get set up and readied. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, then you got to eat those. Some are high in manganese. Apples are high in vitamin C.
Manganese? Yeah, I need me some manga. Sorry, that joke sounded better in my head. Manga or manga, Japanese comic books, visual novels, graphic novel kind of thing.
He said he made herbs to service your body. And then it says he made wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth a man's heart. Now be careful with this word wine. Wine, oil, and bread, all from one verse. Patrick's going to come on here in a second and tell us about this. God made these things to keep you healthy. And some of you have...
Is this Jesus Christ? No, this is Patrick. I don't know why I said it with the Patrick voice the first time.
Hamburger, French fries, and Coke, and you wonder why I'm sick all the time. Well, duh. I'll tell you what, pour water in your gas tank and see how far your car runs. Watch, okay?
But Kent, hang on. So you're saying I shouldn't put water in my gas tank, so I shouldn't put water in me. So what you're saying is I should put gasoline in me. Huh? I get that you're trying to say put the right materials in. Water in the gas tank, given that we need water to live. Not the best analogy. Given the intelligence of your followers, they'll get very confused by that.
You make it glad the heart of man. Oil makes the face, and bread's good for your heart. Wine. Now, red wine contains stuff called polyphenols and resveratrol. You can buy resveratrol. That's the stuff that keeps your heart strong. Let's see. What are polyphenols? All right. Now, the Bible talks quite a bit about wine. Patrick, come on in here and tell us about some of the
Suddenly, face.
Vitamins and minerals and things that make your heart strong. And we'll get back to wine when you're done here. Good to have you. Patrick's one of the trustees of our ministry. I did his wedding a couple years ago, and he's up in Pennsylvania. If you have any questions on health, Brother Patrick, I got this problem. He will know the answer. Some people have a photographic memory for this stuff. I have a photographic memory, but I'm out of film. Okay. So, Patrick, tell us about your ministry. Urish.ihp, International, what is it? International Health Practitioner?
Practitioner. Hello.
International House of Pancakes. Ugh. We're about to get some conspiracy nut crap here, that's for sure. Some misinformation like a mother. I'm going to have to flag this video 18 ways to Sunday.
Oh, so thank you so much, Dr. Hovind, for having me on. My name is Patrick Urish. I'm a IHP, so Integrative Health Practitioner.
We can barely hear you. We need better audio. Get closer, do something.
The problem's on your end, Kent. You're getting a kind of feedback that's ruining things, you idiot.
There we go. I got the microphone right on this dinosaur's head. He's holding it for me. Go ahead. Try it again.
There we go. Could you hear me loud and clear?
Better. Go ahead.
Perfect. So I'm an integrative.
Notice that they've started cutting Kent's audio here. The feed was constant the first bit he was there. Then now Joseph has it switched to that little on-off gain thing. I don't know if it's manual toggle or what.
Integrative health practitioner up in northeastern Pennsylvania, where I help people with their health naturally, with natural modalities, natural remedies, and I usually warn people to stay away from the drugs. Like Dr. Hovind said, if you have a headache, you are not suffering from a aspirin deficiency. We're not all aspirin deficient. If you have a fever, you're not suffering from a Tylenol deficiency. We're not Tylenol deficient. God didn't create these things.
Oh, yes, but these chemical compounds, seem to solve a lot of the issues and assist in natural processes. This is not even something I want to have to go into again, but it looks like this is the level we're at. So Hovind's finally comfortable enough on Rumble to start with the medical misinformation. So I must remind everyone that all the information here is complete and utter bullshit. And yes, I said utter. This is bullshit straight from cow tits. Make it make sense.
And we're not ever deficient in pharmaceuticals. We're not deficient in drugs.
Yeah, instead, what we're deficient is these vitamin supplements and products that are available on your fucking website. You fucking grifter. And look, you can just donate money. You don't even need to buy products. You can just give me money. Let's see what the price of these things are. Let's see. 15.50, 9.90, 14. Okay, they're not outrageous. Oh, there we go. $30, $24, $23, $28. Okay, you know, they're not absolutely garbage price, but okay, how much of whatever this is do you get for that amount? I mean, what we're watching is a glorified infomercial here. 90 capsules. Okay. I mean, you know, if you want to do holistic bullshit, be my guest, but it doesn't work. But as you see, that's what this man is actually all about.
Sometimes, I'm not going to say they're never needed, but generally speaking, these things could be handled with natural means. So even in regards to this verse, it's one of my absolute favorite verses in the entire Bible. And also the one Dr. Hovind said before, herb for the service of man. Herbs service our bodies, just like things service a car, or things might service your refrigerator. We get serviced by the things that we eat. And real quick, just
Yes, the things we eat come in and change out our spark plugs and redo fix the coolant leak in the evaporator coils and all that good stuff. No, it's the stuff we eat contains materials our body needs to do what it does. The individual cells do metabolism to build and replenish structures, et cetera, to keep the chemical balance in check. It's all it boils down to. While it would suck, you could, as dystopian as it is, you could reduce all eating of in humans to just a small pill we consume, or even better, just something that's injected into the bloodstream. Would contain everything we need. That, however, would be a horrible way to live, which is actually a part of the sci-fi story I'm working on. You'll be mortified. Teasers, spoilers, but maybe give or take a few things. But I'd imagine just about everything is going through the bloodstream. I don't really see another way for it to do anything. So yeah. But it's not at all like servicing a piece of equipment. It's very different. Medical professionals doing like joint replacement is servicing the body in a sense. Fixing your heart and you have heart problems, that's the kind of stuff that would apply in that analogy. So no, man.
just to touch on that verse, I do want to actually bring up zinc. Zinc is something that, especially in
A world without zinc. One of the greatest little Simpsons jokes ever.
America today, is so
Come back, zinc. Come back.
incredibly devoid within our human body today. And it just so happens that pumpkin seeds, the pumpkin plant accumulates zinc more so than most things. Pumpkin seeds are filled with zinc.
Let's also note that Kent is not giving this guy full screen. He has to stay on here for no valid reason.
Pumpkin plants love zinc. So I would tell everyone, if you're not taking a zinc pill, get some pumpkin seeds in your diet. They have zinc. And why? Why is zinc so important today? Well, we have within America, our farm fields, a lot of our plant fields, flooded, absolutely flooded with something called Roundup. They are flooding our fields with an herbicide called Roundup. And this is to keep the weeds down, get the weeds away. Well, here's
I'm pretty sure that's a brand of product, so you're just doing the genericized trademark stuff. Also, absolutely fucking hate that phrase, something called. Just say what the thing is. Hate that.
here's the problem with Roundup is it contains arsenic. Roundup contains arsenic, it has very high levels of arsenic. And arsenic depletes
Arsenic, 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 arsenic. Cite your source.
the field of zinc, it depletes the plants of zinc, and it depletes our bodies of zinc. It robs our bodies of zinc. And arsenic today is ubiquitous around here. It's everywhere. You test the water, it has arsenic in it. Arsenic is everywhere. And we're getting robbed of zinc. And now what happens when our bodies are being robbed of zinc? Well, right below your thyroid gland, a little below it, you have another gland that is not really spoken about too much called the thymus gland. And what does the thymus gland do is it actually takes B cells from your bones and is sort of a training camp for them and turns them into T cells. So the thymus gland produces something called T cells, which is your memory immunity. This is how our bodies remember how to fight specific infections. Our body has very little, if not any, memory immunity without T cells. This is how our body knows how to fight the flu or knows how to fight cancerous cells.
Yeah, and here's a fun one for you. All right, I'm sure my audience all knows where I'm gonna go. So you're talking about our bodies developing through through processes like the T cells, through things like that, a memory of diseases. What if, and hear me out, what if there was a way to introduce the genetic signature of a disease into the body in such a way that the T cells and the rest of the immune system will know the signature of this, but it won't actually infect you. Or if it does, you might have a little bit of a reaction. Because remember, the way you feel when you're sick, most of it is the way your body fights the disease. It isn't so much the disease itself. You know, if it was just left to do its thing, you just suddenly wither and die. Well, not suddenly wither and die, but it'd be a pretty straightforward, constant weakening and constant loss of everything. Sorry, just that got kind of dark right there. It's Hovind, of course, it got dark. But what if, we could do that, and that way, when a person is actually exposed to a disease, like, I don't know, a novel SARS coronavirus variant 2 originating in China circa late 2019, maybe if we were to expose people to a to a depleted form of that, in a sense, or something that matched its signature, it might stop people from actually catching the real virus. If only someone had come up with some methodology, some way to do that. But nope, never happened. Never happened. And if it did, the dude on the left, and probably you yourself, Patrick, would be against it because of massive amounts of misinformation touted by a bunch of people. One of them happened to be the second wife of the convicted felon on the left. But no such technology exists. Humans just get sick and die all the time. There's no way, you're lucky if you survive in this day and age. That's why polio is still rampant. Yeah. See all them kids in the iron lungs? They're stuck there. Whole muscular system, they're just gone.
Now, your thymus
Obviously, I'm being facetious and was referring to vaccines. Just for clarity's sake, I know you all know that, but some Nimrod, no pun intended to our Dr. Nimrod here, would hear that and be like, duh, but Chris, they got vaccinations. And it's like, yeah, I know, dumbass. It's a joke.
gland absolutely depends on zinc. And if you don't have zinc, your thymus gland goes from about the size of, a walnut and shrivels and shrinks down to about the size of a pea. And now your thymus gland is totally shot and you can't produce T cells. And now this is why
Okay, take a zinc supplement. Problem solved.
The elderly often, it's so dangerous for them to get the flu, or it's so dangerous for them to get an illness that normally would be easily handled by, younger individuals. But why is it so
Yeah, seriously, Michael. This dude's like, oh, we need zinc, we need zinc. Not realizing, hey, it's about a balance of things. There's too much zinc. And that's a problem, too. Also, I still doubt his claims of arsenic, but what do I know? I'm not the expert. He's obviously the expert. He's an IHP. And not a Dr. Hovind is totally a doctor.
dangerous
And yep, fear mongering. That's all it is.
for them? Because they are out of memory immunity. Their body has no idea anymore how to fight these infections. It needs zinc to keep that thymus gland.
Yeah, some of your herbicides are pretty damn rough, and Roundup's definitely one of them. I mean, it's an herbicide. It ain't just a weedicide.
Healthy.
We decide what we decide we use. God, that was funny and lame at the same time.
An older trustee of Creation Science Evangelism, Bill Sardi, who passed away about 3.5 years ago now.
Audience, weren't y'all just mentioning that guy? Died from a certain condition which I happened to refer to a little while ago? You guys almost have it figured out. By the way, there's reasonable chance this video will not be monetizable regardless of what I flag. I hope it will be okay, but in case you're feeling generous and have the means, your super chats, your donations and such will definitely help make up for, the fact that we're covering this. But hey, I'm feeling kind of better and having far more energy in the stream than I thought I would. Let's see, it's 6:28. Yeah, I'm not making Guild Wars reset on time or to call the Sunless, but that's okay. I'm having fun here.
He would often cite a study where autopsies were done. And autopsies were done on individuals who lived past 100 years old, centenarians, people who made it past 100. And most, if not all, every time were zinc sufficient. And the ones who did not make it to 100, the ones who died before that, most, if not all, were zinc deficient. That's how important zinc is for our bodies. And you can get it, a lot of it, from pumpkin seeds, or you could take a zinc pill. They concentrate it in a pill. It doesn't really matter, too much on the form. Just avoid something called zinc oxide. It's cheap. It's unabsorbable. But hey, we need this in our bodies. This is a huge service to our bodies. And I like to say, if there's one main mineral we could add back in specifically in America, it's zinc. It keeps our immune system functioning. It keeps our blood pressure regulated. It keeps our skin healthy, and it keeps our mood in order. Zinc, think zinc, Bill Sardi used to say. So I recommend adding pumpkin seeds or adding zinc to the diet for service. In regards to now the verse.
So that's why the basic white girls who go get pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks are in such a good mood. It's all the zinc.
Dr. Hovind has on the screen. Why and
it's not the fact that they're privileged ass fucks who don't have a clue what actually dealing with life is.
Wine that maketh glad the heart of man. Well, hey, grapes contain resveratrol. Resveratrol is, I believe, the most important, the most essential, non-essential nutrient on Earth. Of course, we have, things that aren't really necessary to the body, such as vitamin C is necessary, magnesium is necessary. But then there's herbs that aren't necessarily necessary, but this is the most essential, non-essential. Resveratrol is endless what it does, and it strengthens your heart. It is so amazing for the heart. Mice that were artificially induced to have a heart attack, when they were pre-treated with resveratrol, survived, and they survived a lot better, and they were healthier. So what does resveratrol do? Well, the main thing is it's a natural blood thinner. It increases blood flow very well throughout the entire body, and we know that.
Yes, but doesn't thinning one's blood cause issues with blood pressure and the efficiency of the actual resource distribution of the blood? It's my understanding. That's why some people who have low blood pressure, they try to work on that. Usually everything's a little too high and you try to get it down, but sometimes it's a little too low and you try to work it up. Might not be good for everybody. Might want to consult a doctor because that's their job. Notice that you're talking only about positives and none of the potential negatives. That it only gets better the more you do. Interesting. Because anyone who knows anything about basic chemistry knows it's a balance. Quite literally. In every aspect of the human body, every aspect of life is a chemical balance. Just pointing that out.
That the life of the
Remember, I'm no expert.
flesh is the blood thereof. The blood gives us life, and resveratrol greatly increases blood flow. Now, something else is it actually is a reason why it makes us glad. Resveratrol is a mood enhancer, makes us glad. How does it do that? Well, we have an enzyme in our body called MAO. The big name, fancy name for it is monoamine oxidase. But what is this enzyme?
Wow, that's not a big, scary word. That's a normal ass word.
Enzyme do is it keeps a lid on feel-good hormones, or neurotransmitters. So dopamine, the motivation neurotransmitter, serotonin, the happy neurotransmitter. MAO keeps a lid on these so they don't get too high in the body. Well, here's the issue with that is MAO in certain individuals is too high, or as you age, MAO gets too abundant. So now our dopamine goes too low. It keeps too much of a lid on dopamine, and now we lose motivation. We might have mood swings.
Or, with these happy little pills right here, an actual doctor has found something that works to help with the issue I have, which is the fact that my body doesn't process serotonin correctly. And so it causes instability and usually a focus on the depressive side of things. So these SSRIs blocking some of the reception points, it lowers the overall signal strength in effect, causing my brain to be in a better state and work far more normally than it would without them. And I hate that it took me so long in life to be able to find something that actually worked. It took me a long time to realize where the problems were, what the problem was, and to know that I needed to do something about it. But I did. I trust what my doctor has to say and what their experience, their training, results in. Not what you have to say.
Might have low mood. Here's where resveratrol comes in. Resveratrol is a very strong MAO inhibitor. It lessens MAO.
Damn it, Nimrod's right. Yamato, you need to stop making sense or you'll never inherit Dinosaur Adventureland. I gotta get stupider. Alright, time to go crack open a little bit of alcohol I have sitting around that's like 4 years old. So that stuff is who knows what condition. But hey, it exists. That way I'll get super stupid. Nah.
In our bodies. So dopamine specifically could rise higher. And now we have more motivation, higher mood, better moods from resveratrol. Resveratrol is a wonderful mood enhancer. I recommend all adults should be taking resveratrol. It's great for so much. It also is good for something called NAD. If you ever go into health on YouTube or social media today, you probably came across something called NAD. It is
Let the record show that resveratrol is good for your NAD. Just the one. Also convenient, this man is telling you, you should all take this product that I happen to sell in my shop. How convenient. The plumber says you need a plumber. The doctor says you need a doctor. The lawyer says you really need a lawyer.
everywhere right now. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide is the fancy name for it. But all it does is it energizes our mitochondria. As we age, our mitochondria become less functional.
Don't you be talking about my mitochondria. I inherited those from a long line of women. They do fine. They're the powerhouse of the cell. You know that. I know that. I don't think Hovind knows that. We all know that. Motherfucker trying to talk smack about my mitochondria. I don't appreciate that, goddammit.
Become in the single digits, maybe 5% functionality, optimal functionality by age 80. And resveratrol really increases in the body NAD, something that really energizes our mitochondria. It gives us energy. So it's good for your heart. It increases blood flow to the heart.
I'm over here getting dinner, eating dinner, and laughing when I see this walk. I mean, don't this just sum it up? This Patrick guy is an idiot. You know, this is the point where I should point out that I know y'all know I go through effort to try to show everybody's comments and interact where possible. I know y'all appreciate that. Because you don't get this with a lot of other streamers. You don't get this in a lot of cases. Probably because the channels are too big, but even like smaller stuff, sometimes it's a little rough. Not everyone can be paid attention to, but my streams, y'all are part of the experience. That's the joy of doing it. Oh God, love you guys.
It's good for your mood.
And I guess what that was a slight shout out to anyone who's watching this after the fact that, you know, if you can catch me live, join in, comment, have some fun. Don't be a lurker. Unless you want to. It's cool too, but if you feel like joining in, say something.
Good for energy. It's really good for a lot of things. And Bill Sardi actually claimed that resveratrol alone probably could bankrupt the pharmaceutical industries just because it's so good for so much. And
Oh no, I just make it part of the condition where everyone else who's left at DAL has to take care of that end. I get clean slate on that one. I can write the legalese for it. It'll hold up.
continuing with the
Hang on,
verse.
Patrick.
Yes.
Patrick, I often ask people, does Ford and General Motors, do they want your cars to last 50 years?
They do not.
No, they want to sell you a new one, right? Does
yeah, it's not how it used to be. Yeah, it's kind of debatable at this stage. You know, Apple don't want your iPhone lasting more than 4 years. You know, sure, but your car, you know, going. Yeah, it's more a matter of you're unlikely to just simply allow the stuff to last that long because everything has been so over-engineered. But, you know, I think it's just kind of a side effect of like, well, if it's also over-engineered that it won't last that long, then why bother? But that's just me. And that's me giving the car companies credit. And I'm on record as saying, let the car companies fail. Don't bail them out. Fuck them. All of them. I don't give a shit.
let's see.
Someone else will buy the manufacturing equipment and start lines up again. That's how everything works.
The tire companies, do they want to make tires that'll last 500,000 miles? No.
Nope.
They would go broke, right?
Yep.
Does the medical profession?
Kent, can you come up with a tire that would actually last that long? Can you make something that works and would last that long? Because ironically, they are working constantly to increase the lifespan of tires. You know, it's not always about the quantity sold. It can be about the quality and the cost for that quality. And then things like brand loyalty, brand penetration, and the like. Because you're going to need tires. They wear out. Accidents happen. People don't change tires most of the time, at least in Memphis, because they wore the tire out. No. The potholes that look like Behringer Crater. Seriously, these potholes are fucking crazy. You get swallowed alive in those sons of bitches. There was a Facebook page dedicated to one on I-240 one time. Then it got patched, and then that Facebook page closed down. For a week, though, big deal. Point is, it's a huge pothole. People change tires most of the time because they get fucking blown out or something. And I don't think your 500,000 mile tire is going to survive a fucking blowout. Not unless it's expensive as hell. But again, claims of conspiracy that aren't completely unfounded, but simultaneously aren't how everything in the universe fucking works.
Want you to be healthy? If everybody was healthy, they'd be out of work, wouldn't they?
Hi, it's impossible for everyone to be healthy all the time, and a lot of this stuff is inevitable on us. Your joints are gonna break down, you're gonna grow senile, you're gonna start having strokes midstream. Oh, sorry, that's Hovind. You know, that's what happens. So you're still gonna need medical care. People feel bad some days. It just happens. Things get the better of us. Ironically, what your buddy here is promoting is an attempt to keep people sick by lying to them and saying all this stuff's going to make them feel better. You're keeping idiots like you keep the medical industry either kill people or when they finally realize they need to go to a real doctor, they'll make way more money for the medical industry than the medical industry itself makes for it. Because have you ever been around people in the medical field? They fucking hate having to deal with it. They do it because they want to, I hope. They fucking hate having to do it. They would love to have easy nights. Never happens. But I'm just rambling. God, this guy's an idiot. Who? Hovind or Patrick? Yes.
You got to always look at the motive and the money behind it. All right, Patrick.
Yes, but there's no motive or money behind religion. Buy my DVDs. They're an entire seminar, $50 for the whole set. Buy 3 of them for $100. 2 tens for $5, Hovind.
We're about out of time. Resveratrol, we talked about the bread, the wine that strengthens a man's heart. What about the bread that strengthens your heart? What did they take out of the bread back 100 years ago?
They rob the bread to make it last longer. Omega-3 oils, like Dr. Hovind says, omega-3, lecithin, vitamin E. These are taken out of the bread to make that shelf life longer, but that is a bad move.
Exactly, Tyler. Exactly. But he would, of course, blame that on the fall.
We need these things. Omega-3, wonderful for blood flow, absolutely wonderful. We have 2 main fats, omega-6, omega-3 in our diets. It should be about 1-to-1 up to 4-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. In America, it's like 40-to-1. We have way too many omega-6. They should leave the.
I would like to remind everybody that I do not condone anything this ass clown is saying. He's a fucking idiot. Don't listen to him. Only showing this crap as a matter of course, because that's what we do around here in documenting the outright fucking insanity of Kent Hovind.
The omega-3 oils in that bread, that is healthy for not only our heart, but also our brain. And the reason why is a large component of omega-3 is DHA. DHA is a critical component for our brain.
Oh, no. It's something about DMT and THC and LSD and OPP. You down with OPP?
It's a big portion of our brain, and they remove omega-3 oils from these things just to make them last longer. Vitamin E is removed, and vitamin E, I tell people, is so crucial for so much. And the main reason why is cholesterol. Cholesterol is so demonized today. Bad cholesterol, good cholesterol. If cholesterol is too high, well, here's the thing. Your cholesterol levels, and this is true, could be somewhat normal or a little higher and 0 plaque.
Yeah, my medication, it's the generic. I ain't getting the brand name shit. They make sure to make it as cheap as possible.
Or they could be a little lower, filled with plaque. And the reason why is because we are now becoming devoid on vitamin E. Vitamin E in the.
We are now becoming devoid on vitamin E. Note that down. It will be on the test. That test being, what the fuck did this ass clown say?
The body literally hitches rides on cholesterol particles for transport. This is how vitamin E is transported throughout the body. It hitches rides on cholesterol, and in doing so, keeps cholesterol from hardening within the arteries. It keeps cholesterol from oxidizing within the arteries. They need to put the vitamin E back in this, or They need to use what was used throughout history, which is the whole wheat, the wheat germ with the whole grain wheat bread. They need to be using that, not just white bread, totally devoid of all this stuff. Lecithin is another thing that is wonderful for cholesterol. Why today are we all having plaque in our arteries? That's not normal. We shouldn't be filled with gunk and plaque in our arteries. Well, lecithin, believe it or not, is amazing for bile flow.
I mean, I don't have comment on this idiot. Just listen to him. Just let him say what he has to say. This is mental.
So they removed the lecithin, but bile flow is so much improved by lecithin. Bile comes from the liver, stored in the gallbladder, and it's used to digest fats, it's used to digest oils, and it's used to extricate or get rid of excess cholesterol in the body, or backing up cholesterol in the body. Without sufficient bile flow, your cholesterol backs up in your blood vessels. Now, the issue here is most people have bile about like the consistency of motor oil. It's sludgy. It's really sludgy and slow. It gets backed up.
Motor oil. All the oils I've ever seen for internal combustion engines have been quite freely moving, low viscosity. It's usually in their branding. Used motor oils filled with carbon byproducts of combustion, metal shavings, what have you, yeah, that's a kind of sludge. In extremely gunked up engines, it looks like a goddamn jelly. It's beautifully hypnotic if it wasn't for the fact that I know that is the just that material just destroys such beautiful machines as some high performance engines and the like. You're trying to paint a picture and you're doing the wrong descriptors there, buddy. You didn't say used oil, you just said motor oil. So I'm thinking the good stuff, the clean stuff. Looks like you'd almost drink it. Didn't know it was oil. Sometimes it looks like kind of like a syrup, a thin syrup. Doesn't taste like it, but it looks like it. I don't know, just had to nitpick that.
You want this consistency of gasoline, super liquid, super thin, but most people are not like that. Lecithin.
Okay, so you go from motor oil to gasoline. What's y'all's obsession with engines? I mean, I get it, but I don't. You can come up with another analogy. Damn. Kent's arteries are 90% filled with fried chicken. I'd say about 50% fried chicken and the other 50% is Chinese food.
And will do that. Lecithin improves bile flow within the body and it helps prevent, or helps at least
Kent Hovind is 10% MSG by volume.
lessen cholesterol from backing up within the arteries. It's wonderful. All of this stuff is wonderful.
Oh, certainly, Michael. Yeah, some applications most certainly require less viscous lubricant, but all the regular stuff I've seen for your typical 2 or 4 stroke engine.
Wonderful for your heart health. It keeps your heart healthy, which today it's not so.
The whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead.
Yes,
there's
sir.
things they took out. The love of money, root of all evil. The Bible, see, Jesus said, give us this day our daily bread. They had to break the bread fresh every day because it goes bad. If the bread doesn't go bad, something's wrong with it. They took out the stuff that needs to go bad. So daily bread. So anyway, Patrick, I know you can go for 6 months on this top. Thank you so much. You've been a blessing. So I'll talk about the wine. Maybe you
guys know what's funny is he comes back later. So we ain't out of the woods yet, boyos. We got 10 minutes. Fuck.
Something to add. The Bible talks quite a bit about the word wine. What is this wine they're talking about? Well, there's a fermented.
Well, it's probably Hovind in the background when he realizes his ass is getting sent to hell. No. Just imagine it like Eric Cartman. Nah, screw you guys. Although that's a disservice to Cartman. We like Eric Cartman as much as we hate him. We don't like Hovind at all. Seriously, if you had to pick, who would you save? Kent Hovind or Eric Cartman? Let me know in the chat.
And there's an unfermented wine. There's a good article explaining, I don't know, it was onlinebaptist.com. I don't know anything about them, but they had a good article explaining that Jesus did not make drink alcoholic wine while he was on earth. Look at that article online.
Michael, that is pretty cool. I would be interested in learning more, like little odd tidbits here and there of that down the line.
Who hath woe, who hath sorrow, who hath contentions, who hath babbling, who hath wounds without cause, who has redness of eyes?
And yes, Nimrod, I too have been very sick like that and seen those substances, and it's unpleasant.
Tarry long at the wine. Talking about the winos and the alcoholics. You got these problems. They babble. They got wounds. They don't know what happened to it. They were drunk. Look not thou upon the wine when it's red. So apparently there's a time when the wine is not red, when it giveth his color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. So he said here, don't.
Yeah, Cartman's just a hyper-bigoted little asshole.
Look at the wine when it ferments. So the word wine in the Bible can mean grape juice, unfermented wine, or alcoholic wine. At the last it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder. Thine eyes shall behold strange women. Thy heart shall utter perverse things. When people get drunk, they say,
My heart doesn't utter anything. It pumps blood. That's what it does. Also, I just noticed this man is wearing some flag-themed shirt. One, that's a violation of flag code. And two, you're the least patriotic sumbitch I know.
say the craziest things, don't they? Yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, he that lieth upon the top of a mast. They have stricken me, shalt thou say, I was not sick. They beat me, and I didn't feel it.
Once again, him reading verses wrong. They have stricken me, shalt thou say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I felt it not. Oh, that's hard to read. But he never emphasizes anything, yet he's got the italics right there. It just kills me.
When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again. I'm going to go get drunk again. That's what there's. He said, don't touch the stuff, okay? Don't even look at it when it gets fermented. Look not thou upon the wine when it is red. So I made a decision as a young teenager based on these verses. I'm not going to touch it. Never tasted it in my life. 72 now.
My ass, you hadn't.
Financial cost. What's it cost to drink? Well, it's.
Oh, here we go. Here we fucking go. Kent with his budget advice.
See, in New York, the average amount spent on alcohol, $121,000 in a lifetime. What could you do if you had $121,000 right now? I've never seen that much in one time, but I'd buy something with it, right? Finish our Noah's Ark. High hidden costs of alcohol. Plus, it destroys your health, not just the financial cost of drinking. The criminal justice, probably going to get in trouble. Workplace productivity, you're going to miss work because you're drunk. Look not thou upon the wine when it's red.
Oh, fuck, Nimrod. That's funny. It's not red wine anymore. It's Native American color wine. God, that is horribly funny. Oh, man. Oh, man. Times they are a-changing. Floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. Yo, I was thinking that. I was thinking that earlier. Kent, your problem's coming. You're going to need more help than you realize. When one side of your face droops and you can't speak well, someone will have to help you put on your trousers. Bingo! As Demon Outcast had pointed out, Kent has had another stroke recently. And yeah, I noticed that droop he's got going on now. So he's racist towards wine now? Yep. What to do? Get drunk? Get my friends drunk? This just in. Local cult leader claims drinking poison is bad for you. Film at 11.
Googled this morning, East Peoria Community High School, where I went to school. And up came a picture of the very yearbook of the year I graduated. I would like to get one of those. If you know where there is one, find me one, please. That's the year I graduated, 1971. My sophomore year, I got saved. And
What, your mommy and daddy didn't buy one?
Proverbs 23 made me decide to never taste it, never touch it. How much money did I save? How many of you,
Not as much as you thought you were saving, not paying taxes. And that cost you 9 years of your life.
you had all the money back you've ever spent on alcohol, you could buy a nice car. No, never mind. You don't need to raise your hand. Okay.
No. In total in my life, I've probably spent, me personally, probably spent maybe in total a couple of $100 on alcohol. And I'm 40. Now in total, cost of what I've probably consumed because friends would, throw some nice parties, probably towards $1,000. I party hard when I would drink. Friends would have to come and check that I'm breathing. I went overboard every time, but couldn't buy a nice car. Certainly not with the 200. Couldn't buy nice anything with $200 nowadays.
Teen alcohol deaths. 1,885 young drivers were killed in motor vehicles in 1 year. Most of them alcohol related. So I think.
Yeah. I mean, I, find I'll just put it this way. I find it extremely paradoxical that even in this car-centered country that the United States is, the fact that bars exist in the way they do, that people drive to a place specifically to imbibe alcohol. But why is that a thing? Why is that problem not resolved in some kind of loophole? Like, no, there's, oh, wait, if we had better public transit, oh, they'd fight on the public transit. Oh, you could just walk there. Nah, America isn't a walk anywhere country. It's one of the things I desperately want to be in Europe for, is the fact that you can actually just fucking walk somewhere and it not be, a massive fucking struggle. A guy I like in the tech sphere. This is going to be a little side tangent. It's My Natural Color is his name. He actually uploaded a video recently I need to watch. Tom Smith, cool guy. Has a like an albinoism going on and some other stuff. When he was younger, he did some weekly vlogs or daily vlogs, and he showed his entire bike route to his workplace. And it looked like a hell of a pleasant thing. He'd have vlogs, walking places. Other people would have vlogs walking around here, there, everywhere. The areas looked, decent because they were engineered with people in mind. You don't have that in America. You just don't. You get to some spots in Midtown Memphis, sure. Rest of it, hell no. You ain't walking anywhere. So we're such a car dependent country that people who even want to go and get alcohol, want to go to friends and party. Oh, they gotta, they're gonna drive down there. And what the fuck? The country begs for this shit to happen, then is like, oh, how could this have happened? Why is this such a problem? I'm not saying we ban alcohol, but I'm seriously not a fan of bars and public alcohol serving, to that degree. I don't know. It's its own issue to talk about. I've been on a little more of a tangent on this than I should be. But yeah. I don't know, Kent. I'm just saying people should be able to enjoy themselves. I don't care if you drink. I hope someone isn't a fucking alcoholic, fucking ruining their lives with this shit. As I said the other day, we've got friends in this community who are former alcoholics. So definitely don't want them to ever have to deal with that again. But if someone wants to sit in their own place and chug a few brews back, go for it. That's their right. They can spend their money how they want to. That's not your problem. It's not your fucking concern. Because I think you spending all the money that's given to you on Dinosaur fucking Adventureland is a pretty big fucking waste. And that money would do better. And all the money that churches don't pay in taxes would do a lot better going towards actual social programs and assisting the populace at large than keeping you fat cats fatter. You piece of shit. Tied that all together nicely.
He's telling us in these verses about wine, which does not mean alcoholic wine, okay? I think he's talking about we should eat bread and vegetables and fruit. It tells us.
And I'm sorry, Laura, I left you hanging there. Some of the words in italics are words that don't exist in Hebrew. They are added in the English to make the grammar work. Oh, thank you. Thank you. A lot of times it looked like it was just a stress point, but that makes sense for that section that I got quite confounded on, shall we say. Okay, thank you. One of the reasons I love having you here. That's your contribution is this detailed knowledge of this stuff and just instantly like, nope, this is wrong. Oh, nope, that's right. No, here's what's going on there when I'm confused. Love it. Everyone in my chat contributes something to the stream at large. That's why you're all fucking awesome.
This is what to eat. Patrick, I started taking this electrolyte powder. I mix it in a little bitty tiny spoonful in a container of water, and I drink 2 or 3 of those every day. You guys that live around here and work with me, I'm pretty active and go full speed.
Okay, that's not even bad, Kent. That's totally cool. Electrolyte powders and the like, hell yeah. You want that shit? Go for it. That's might be what I go for tomorrow morning at work.
All day, don't I? Yeah, it's what some of you don't have any energy because you eat like a slob. You're eating junk food. I want to get a
Yep, because I can't afford the good food, Kent.
muscle cramp. I take magnesium. This little Patrick, this vitamin B12, little tiny pill. I take one of those in the morning. I'm in high gear all day long. Feed your body what it needs. Give your car the gas that it needs, the oil that it needs. You service your car, and God gave herb for the service of man. And you evolutionists who believe all this happened by chance, you got another major problem. The symbiotic relationship between man and the plants. It all just happened, over billions of years. There's certain kinds of stupid that are just unfixable. If you believe you're related to a carrot and you all came from a rock.
Hey, he goes talking about amounts of money spent and treating yourself well, and then just talks about stupid that can't be fixed. He's obsessed. He worships the idea of evolution and having it to argue against. It's hilarious how transparent it is. He doesn't even realize it. He doesn't even know that's what he's done.
You'd have to go to college for years to be that stupid. Yep, you really would. Okay, Patrick, any final words on the bread or the wine or things? Oil? What about 2 minutes, Patrick? Oil to make his face to shine.
Yes, absolutely. So oil, the main thing with regards to oil is...
Hang on, is that hyaluronic acid? You buy this at Walmart, glowing skin. It's got hyaluronic acid. I tell people all the time, oh, my joints hurt. Take hyaluronic acid.
Yep.
2 minutes, Patrick, summarize it. What's it do?
Bill Sardi had people cancel their knee surgeries with hyaluronic acid. It's unbelievable. So it's a gap filler. It's in her skin. It's in her eyes. It's in her hair. It's in her lungs. It's a jelly-like substance. It makes our lungs expand and contract properly. And it's in her joints. It's filled.
Downtown Memphis is pretty nice for walking. Yeah. I mean, it's a downtown, of a reasonable city, so of course it is. I can imagine downtown Santa Fe. I'm gonna have to check that out. It sounds interesting. It's not a place I think of too often. Santa Fe, check it out. But yeah, downtown Memphis and Beale Street blocked off, so it's a that makes sense. Oh, you take an Uber or a Lyft down there, or your friend is the driver, designated driver, and you and a group go down there and enjoy. That's why my friends took me out for one of my birthdays a good number of years ago. Forget which one. It was maybe probably my 37th, 30th birthday. No, wait, that was a few years ago. No, probably 36th, 37th, maybe. I don't know. I'm forgetting what time is anymore. Point is, actually, no, that would have been, it doesn't matter. Probably 35-ish. Whatever. For 2020. Sorry, I'm obsessing over it. My brain's like, you got to figure out what year that was. When did you and Zach and them go out? Anyway, going down to Beale Street was pretty cool, and just bar hop to bar hop. But my place I used to live, there was a bar at the end of the neighborhood, so I could actually walk there, but I never did. So some cases, sure, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm thinking overthinking everything. I'm in Dublin, Ireland, and even with great public transit and stuff not being that far, it still can take ages. It's my car, yeah. And I mean, as all cities have grown, it's one bar for 6 miles or more, other bars are 15 or more miles. Only social space available for adults. But everyone brings up the country and the boondocks, and it's not that accidents don't happen out there; they obviously do. But there's such a lower population of people that it's less likely for a slightly inebriated driver to necessarily hit someone else, as opposed to a busy urban or suburban just area. Um, so that's where a lot of the stuff is that in the more developed areas, you'd expect it to be more close knit, and it's not. Things are still spread out the same kinds of distances. Now there's just 10,000 people between you and where you want to go. It's weird. Alcoholic by everybody else's standards, but I haven't had a drink at least 4 months. It's a need an operation. Doctors were shocked. I just stopped. Don't think I'm an alcoholic. Just like it. Yeah, Nimrod. That's a thing. It's like like I said, when I drink, I tend to kind of party. I go hardcore. Make myself sick. But then, I can just go 2 years and not have another drink. It's fine. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for that time. It's just a situational thing. So I'm fortunate there.
Filled in our joints. We have stuff in our joints called synovial fluid, and it contains hyaluronic acid. It cushions our joints. And we lose it as we age. We start to diminish in hyaluronic acid. This is why women lose height as they age. They're not losing height because of their bones shrinking. The discs in between their vertebrae are losing hyaluronic acid. So what do you do to maintain your height, to maintain your hair, to maintain your joints? You take hyaluronic acid. When you take it supplementally, what happens actually is it stimulates cells in our bodies called fibroblast cells to produce higher levels and more youthful levels of hyaluronic acid once again. If you have bone,
Tyler, that would be a very interesting thing. And you can imagine in a weightless environment, on especially something like a colony ship, humans quickly evolving to a point where they no longer are fit for gravitational environments. That's a mortifying thought, honestly. If we ever manage to become like a spacefaring species and we don't have, not that it's really technically possible for an artificial gravity under some models of stuff, but ways, well, you know what I mean, like a sci-fi, like, oh look, there's just gravity here, as opposed to like a rotating system to develop a centripetal force for artificial gravity. Yeah, that's going to be a problem going forward. So you think about things like material needs, you even think about just physical needs. I don't know, just some interesting thoughts. Somali woman in blue and white gown and veils. Sure, they are AF as Muslims. Do they count, Kent? Good point.
on bone arthritis, take hyaluronic acid. If your hair is drying out, if you have eye issues, take hyaluronic acid. It is a wonderful, wonderful molecule that in the States kind of goes unrecognized, but you look at a place like Japan, they spend around $2 billion a year on hyaluronic acid. So the world knows about this, but
And something they don't spend a lot of money on? Deodorants and the like, because of genetic predispositions to not smell bad. Man, it's all conditional. Just, I don't know, man. I mean, you saying random stuff, I'll say random stuff.
they keep it kind of unfortunately hidden and secret in here because a customer cured is a customer lost. And it is a money thing, and they don't want
Yes, the claims of conspiracy.
a simple fix to these things that can't be patented. So hyaluronic acid, if you have any arthritis, please take hyaluronic acid. It is wonderful for the human body. And oil make it the face to shine, or oil to make its face to shine, it is filled again with polyphenols. Olive oil especially is filled with polyphenols, which are absolutely tremendous for human health. It is unbelievable how many things these accomplish, resveratrol being one of the most potent polyphenols in regards to just so many different health problems. And the last thing I would like to say in regards to bread is something, the biggest thing, honestly, is bread.
It just hit me. This dude reminds me of Milhouse from The Simpsons. This is him grown up under conservative religious indoctrination and conspiracy theory shit. Milhouse Van Houten, the conspiracy years.
Is becoming so demonized today in our modern society with different fad diets, but bread contains something called phytic acid, IP6. So the number one driving factors that kind of increase our aging is.
Oh, Joe, that was an older. That was not an older clip per se. If it's the recent upload that was done, yeah, that was he did 2 debates with him a couple of months back. I like Peterson, but it gets a little tiring watching him in rapid succession. I mean, it's all the same with him. And I was introduced to him by the fact that he did the reading of. He had like an AI voice read it, but he did a reaction reading to Hovind's dissertation. But I don't hate Peterson. It's just I can only do that content so much, which I understand. People can only do my content so much in the same way. Some of my regulars here are atypically regular because they don't want to watch Hovind, and that's fine.
And Bill Sardi really blew this open, is the accumulation of iron, copper, and calcium. We need iron, copper, and calcium, but once we reach full physical maturation, it accumulates in the body and we begin to age, and it takes a really huge aging toll on our body. Well, bread contains high amounts of phytic acid, IP6, that chelates or binds to excess iron, copper, calcium, and takes it.
Yeah, as far as 3 streams in one day, I'm fucking mental, and I'm just not feeling that jive to play Guild Wars right now. I mean, the reset happened, so I've got some stuff to take care of, and I'll probably be all in it tomorrow when the weekly reset hits. But for right now, I'm just chilling.
Right out of the body. It won't take calcium from your bones. It won't take iron from your blood, and it won't take copper from connective tissue, just where it's in excess, just where it's causing problems. So bread, for the vitamin E, for the omega-3, for the lecithin, for the IP6, it is a very healthy option to eat whole wheat bread, and it's actually a good option, despite what so many fads today say. All these things.
No, I personally do prefer the whole wheat bread, but that's because the flavor is great. Honey wheat in my case. Really enjoy it. Regular bread can be nice, or the plain bread can be nice, but it's not what I like. But that's just mainly a taste preference. But I know I'm getting a little bit more with it, and that's cool. But I don't think eating regular bread is going to kill me.
That the Bible touts are extraordinarily healthy for the human body.
All right, now, Patrick, tell folks how to get a hold of you. You're going to phone calls.
Absolutely.
We have some people here that are good mechanics. I got a question. I can take it to them. They probably know what's wrong. Okay.
Hovind, why aren't you showing your face? Why aren't you showing your face, Hovind? You're just a floating circle, Hovind. You're just a circle. Just a circle. Hovind's just a circle. Yamato's just a circle. I'm sorry. I'm getting hyper. I can take medication for my depression, but I can't take it for ADD. I really can't. ADD medication would actually cause me to go into serotonin. I have a condition known as serotonin syndrome. Ask me how I know.
Just really good with health. Somebody's got a health issue of any kind. You got to give your phone number?
Yep. My number is 570-814-5059. That is 570-814-5059. Please contact me anytime at all. I'm up.
I'll give this guy credit. He presents the number in such very well, because that's the exact same way that I would say the phone number. The way you should. So I give him credit there. Also, as a disclaimer, please don't call and harass this guy. Just don't bother. It's not worth it. Leave him alone. We'll just talk shit about him in our own private interchanges.
At all hours, and my email is Yurish. That's YURISH.IHP@gmail.com. You can shoot me an email. And my website, if you want to learn more about me and my work, it's Yurish, YURISHIHP.com. Please reach out anytime at all if you want to learn more about me. Hop on my website. I'd love to help you out.
All right. Here we are, folks. Back in Psalm 104, 3,000 years ago, God gave the answers to many medical problems we're still having. The Bible's way ahead of our modern medical profession.
Oh yeah, Otaku, I would expect so, with it being May 4th and it being, A New Hope. I mean, I would love to go see the original trilogy in some capacity in theaters again, because I saw A New Hope and Empire in the special editions in '97. Didn't get to go see Jedi, which sucks because that's my favorite of the three, but it's all right. Also, oddly, I got to see Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones in theater, but I never saw Revenge of the Sith. Which, yes, is funny because I could go see it right now if it wasn't for the fact I'm fucking broke.
Tomorrow, if you have any questions or comments, call me. I'll be driving for the next hour. 855 Big Dino, extension 3. I'd be glad to talk with you. Any urgent thing, questions coming in here now? Those are, no. All right. And thank you, visitors here. If you want to hang around a couple hours, I'll be back eventually. I'll give you the tour. If you want to spend the night, see Titus. Titus, raise your hand back there. Right there.
Spending the night at Dinosaur Adventureland when Hovind's gone? Now that doesn't sound so bad.
Titus books all the cabins. And we have, we got them all ready from the group that just left, Titus. We have them all ready. Got them all ready? You've been up all day? Okay, all night. All right, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we'll get into more of the Psalm 104. Hopefully cover more than 6 verses. See you then. Bye.
Hovind's gone. Dun, dun, dun. Hovind's gone. Dun, 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 dun. All food is good for you in moderate amounts, and they're really bad for you as such. Diabetic food specialists have told me this every time I see them. Fascinating. I mean, it makes sense, but it's nice to hear someone actually say, yeah, any of it's technically good if it qualifies as food. It's the amounts you eat. It's moderation. It's balance. That's really the key thing. It doesn't matter how we get our nutrients. We just need to get them. I know personally about serotonin syndrome. It can be dangerous. Hope you didn't have to struggle too much before it was figured out. Oh, no, it was very much a one and done thing, Maria. Very much a one and done. It actually happened in the off period while I was at work years ago, while I was waiting for my girlfriend at the time to get off to come pick me up. Yeah, I documented it in audio on my iPhone. It was pretty wild. Do not recommend. 2 out of 10. For those wondering, I'm not sharing my illness as I talk about them openly on channels I regularly appear on. Yeah, no problem. I mean, a person can share what they want to share. If it's oversharing, that's either the opinion of a person hearing it and saying it's too much, or you after the fact. I don't get this idea that someone else can tell me if I'm sharing too much information, that I should feel I'm sharing too much, when I personally feel comfortable in sharing this and the context is appropriate. That's really the thing. It's context appropriateness. And in this case, that feels right. There's been a lot of medical talk here. So we're just sharing our thoughts and feelings. Revenge of the Sith was the first one you saw in theaters. Hell of a film to come in on. That's for damn sure. Oh no, more Psalms. There's always more Psalms. Kunt says he is gone. He's just hiding under the bed of his next victim. God, that's mean. That's mean. But probably true. So we should also stain ourselves on rudimentary paste like RoboCop? Totally. Totally. Tastes like baby food. Oh. And then we're all going to get addicted to Nuke like RoboCop 2. And then in RoboCop 3, we're going to have some jetpack, and it's going to be rated PG, thus defeating the purpose. I don't know. I like RoboCop 2. It's not as good as the first one, but I like RoboCop 2. But all right. That took near 2 hours. I wasn't planning on spending that much time with it, but we made it happen. It was, a fun one, a weird one. I don't know. I don't really have commentary. Y'all got a moment to hear my thoughts on some other stuff, mostly chaotically delivered, but, some stuff we don't normally talk about. That was pretty wild to hear dude say the stuff he said. It wasn't anything too extreme, but it was so clearly hey, don't buy the real medicine, buy my stuff instead. Which, granted, vitamin supplements and the like can totally help. A lot of it's apparently just pissed out, especially in the conventional multivitamins. So, it's a bit of an annoyance. But the idea is there. And I'm not against it. Just don't let yourself get scammed. Consult a proper medical professional and all that good shit. Oh, yeah, Justin, you are right at the end. Don't worry, you can go back and listen to it all. And then leave plenty of comments. All the comments. Oh, man. Toxie would be at 11 with the Traumatons. He. See, this is proof that the Trauma universe is not the same as our universe, because Toxie's Traumatons would have triggered the moment Kent started CSE. So somewhere between Toxic Avenger 2 and 3, when he got back from Japan, he would have gone and taken care of Kent Hovind. Yeah. That reminds me, I still need to watch Return to Nukem High Volume 2. Been forever. To give you an idea on how long it's been since the first film, Lemmy is in it. He's been dead nearly a decade. Actually shared that with a screen cap of that with Trauma, and got a like from their team on Twitter back when it was still good. I was like, hey, no one ever visits my website. Lemmy knows why. Teenagers don't want to read blogs anymore. They just want to fuck, or something like that. Oh, actually, I should rewatch that. Yeah, if you haven't seen them, I recommend the Toxic Avenger films, and I definitely recommend the original Nukem High film, as well as the Return to Nukem High films, and anything else you want to watch. Sergeant Kabuki Man. I can't remember others because I'm a little tired. Trauma is some good shit right there. Trauma is some good shit. Y'all are great, though. If you like expensive piss, buy expensive vitamins. Exactly. Then yes, we will end with Justin having said, "May the fourth be with you." Go enjoy some Star Wars. Go enjoy whatever the hell you want. Rewatching Trauma stuff's always a good idea, definitely. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but Andor season 2 is pretty damn nice, and I like that they're flooding us with episodes, so it's not the slow burn that it would be otherwise. So sorry, big yawn spell there. If you hadn't caught it, that might be fun to catch up with. But yeah. Oh no, Lemmy's in Return to Nukem High. Yep. Troma was the first company to bring Totoro to America. This is true. Troma, they make movies of the future. Also, Lloyd Kaufman in the Angry Video Game Nerd episode on the Toxic Crusader games, based on the cartoon, based on Toxic Avenger. I was a big fan of that. Had the toys and stuff as a kid. Had the game on Genesis too. It's a crazy ass game. Kind of love it. It sucks, but it's that once you understand it, you love it kind of game. So you either love it or hate it. Yeah. Lloyd Kaufman in that AVGN episode was just something else, way past the line. But that's Lloyd for you. I mean, anyone else, it would have been like, this is too much. This is ridiculous. But Lloyd doing it's still fucking disgusting. But god damn, was it on brand? On brand. No, but there are 5 episodes that have been pushed already. I've been catching up with them as I can. Yeah, we're up to 6. 6 episodes. Yeah, they pushed the first 3 and then they pushed the second 3, so they're doing them in batches. So it's making it go a lot smoother because it's the same slow burn, but with moments of interesting stuff going on. So want to get the Super 7 Toxic Crusader toy, Toxic Avenger toy I shared on Discord as a redeco of that one. Ah, nice. All right, we could sit here all night and talk about trauma and other awesome stuff, but y'all hear me yawning. It's time to wind up my weekend, sadly, and begin back to the hell that is the work week. Thanks everyone for being here, for stopping by through the multiple streams today. Y'all are awesome. I did not plan on this stream lasting very long at all, but y'all perked me up. That's the beauty of these things. That's why I do this stuff live rather than pre-record the videos anymore, because y'all are just awesome. So yeah, that's that. Everyone have a great remainder of your weekend. Have a good week. I'll pop in here and there with videos as I always do. Much love. Catch everyone next time.